The first seasons of House of the Dragon had to overcome something really big, and that was the abysmal downfall of the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones. We both thought the first season of the show got us roped back into the world and were excellent. With season 2 premiering weekly and episode 2 out at the moment that this reviews goes up, we wanted to talk about the second season so far. We had the opportunity to already catch the first 4 episodes. We won't be talking about episode 3 and 4 specifically, so no worries, we're not going to spoil you, but we can have a non-spoilerish look ahead of what the rest of the season will bring. So, Lachlan, how did you feel stepping foot back into this world that we very much liked in the first season? Did it pick up where it left off?
Well, I mean, yes. If we're talking narratively, yes. Did you watch the same thing that I watched then?
Yeah.
No. It literally takes place straight after. You're immediately thrown in to Rhaenyra's Targaryen's grief, and I think that's a fantastic way of opening the season, because Rhaenyra had a massive high in the first season, which comes to an absolute stop at the end, and to see her fly to the heights that she did to try to get the Iron Throne after obviously the whole the in line now, it's now him, yada yada happened. To see her be on that high horse and then knocked out, down, not really leading. Everyone else is now doubting her, which I found quite enjoyable as an opening to this season, which definitely gives you this sort of uneasy feeling as you go out, where people doubt what she can do because of the loss of her kids, which is, hashtag sad day to be a Targaryen. And Daemon also then goes on a tangent as well, and Daemon has his own storyline focuses as he does in the first season, and I think that where these two are going is more enjoyable. I never really found their scenes together that exciting, but I think it's exciting to see them separate to do their own thing, see their own development without them influencing each other. And that's going to be super exciting. Otto Hightower. Was I sleeping
MVP.
on him in the first season?
Yeah,
because
you were.
My fucking God.
I had so many people say I didn't manage to sneak in a rewatch of season 1, but I've heard so many people say who did that when you watch him and you know where he ultimately ends up and how much he is in control of getting where he ends up with manipulating and putting stuff in place. Apparently he's doing that a lot, and I noticed that that was his intention. That was what he was doing, but I didn't pick up on it on like in the first season. So much is going on. You basically, how did the showrunners describe it? The creators describe it is that basically the first season was all a setup of the rest of the story that they want to tell, and you can really feel that they settle in, going slower with these episodes now, having established the relationships between the characters. And I loved the first season. I think this one is going to be like even better by quite a big margin, because we are getting so much more from these characters now. And everything feels more dramatic when they make a bigger decision. And the first season, maybe there wasn't as much, I guess, happening overall. But now that we've gone to a place where there's about to be chaos erupted in this kingdom, we're on the verge of something, which I didn't even know. Apparently never picked up on that, but Game of Thrones does spoil what happens at the end of this, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know for the rest of the series. I'm not looking that up. I don't want to be spoiled. I'm
not going to rewatch it. Tanika is currently reading the book House of Dragons based on. She kind of has an idea of where it's going. But man, as someone who doesn't know,
are there differences? Has he said anything like that? Like as she read the part,
it's following very similar, I believe she said.
Okay.
I haven't really asked because I don't know where she's up to.
Yeah.
So she's trying to read through it, I believe, because it's either like you either watch it or you read it. Like at this point, because they're basically like at the same spot.
Well, at least it's one book, or is it like an ongoing? Okay, so at least you're not waiting. Like we still are for the rest of Game of Thrones. It's done.
With House of Dragon season 2, you said it's set up to be a lot higher with that first season, and I think that from reading online, a lot of people are a little bit disappointed with the
Yep.
show not being into the same heights. And I think that's okay because, as I said, episode 2, which is out now, is my favorite episode so far because there's a lot of conversation happening. There's a lot of dialogue, and it is absolutely fantastic. Like the performances from everyone: Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, Reese Ivans, Olivia Cole, even whoever plays Cole is fantastic. And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with the Sea Snake and Rhaenys Targaryen. Like that relationship between the two are just fantastic, because it's like they're lovers, but they're also like in the public eye they're like super strong and tough, but they're also really sweet and understanding of everything, and are willing to do what is necessary to be honorable, even though, and especially Renee's with Rhaenyra. Those two are really, really cool. But for me, the writing of this show, of this season, has been top notch so far, and I was having an absolute blast with it.
Yeah, me as well. But like we can talk. I guess spoiler warnings for definitely go see the first 2 episodes that are out now. By the time you're watching this, there might be more. We'll definitely do like a full series review once it's all done in a couple of weeks. But I guess the big moment, and a son for a son ends up happening in a way, definitely in a way, like pretty literally. I think it's really interesting how it unfolds, especially in the second episode, because for a moment I was like, wait, was that what Damon sent him to do? Or did it just fuck up? And then the more you settle in, I feel like it never. Well, I guess you see all the moments, but to me, it was unclear if he ever said anything about like get whoever you can, or if they just fucked up. And I feel like they fucked up, right? That's where I stand on it. I don't know if you have a different opinion.
I was under the impression that they went in to get Aemond, and then
Yeah.
They were, because I'm pretty sure there was a line along the lines of, guy with eye patch, hard to miss, yada yada yada. And then when they went in there, whatever it's blood and cheese, whatever it's called, they were like, oh well, brother for a brother, close enough. We're still gonna get the job done.
Yeah.
And they just went with whoever they could. So to me, it's a fucked up job, because Rhaenyra would want to only go after the person that killed her son, and doesn't want revenge upon someone innocent. And that's one of the really cool characteristics of her character, is that she wouldn't want that.
I feel like she still hasn't made up her mind anyways about what she wants to do. And that's also why her grieving is taking longer, because she's so caught up with the grieving. I don't know if she knows who she wants to like punish. I don't think she would go as far to go after Aemond. Like, I don't know, she probably wouldn't want him alive, but I don't know if she would send for to kill him. I don't. That's why, like, I feel like
she is.
Yeah, and I feel like that's an interesting part of it. Everyone figures out their own identity, and then at the core of it, they're just thrust into being opposed to each other just because there's a misunderstanding, or it's about like how you interpret something to make it your biggest benefit. In the way that Alicent, misreads the late wish, and feels like when he's talking about the Eyes of Fire, he's talking about the grandson, which he wasn't, right? I don't know. This movie is the show is really layered with that sort of thing, where it's just like a fuck up after fuck up, and you can never get to cleaning up stuff, because before you can even get to that, there's even more fucked up shit that happens, and you get further and further roped into. I was about to say something that happens later on in episode 3 or 4. I just held myself back. Which I feel like it goes into very interesting directions to solve those problems that don't seem like it's like the one and done reaction of what you expect a story like this to play out, because we got to build to like a big battle, and that's what needs to happen, and then it's all resolved. It stays way more focused on the characters, which is maybe where that first initial letdown for some fans of the series comes in, because they feel like, hey, that end of the season was such a big moment for them to escalate it, and then it's not that at all. They're taking their time, and I like it way more for it. I don't know if I would have loved it as much if they just gone straight into like, okay, we got to fight this out, this full all-out war. And yeah, the show is visually also so well done. There's certain bits of, I guess, the CGI that looks a bit rough at times. I can forgive that, because it's like, it's dragons.
TV
it's like,
show,
okay, be immersed in the universe. It's not like, if that's not the core of it, is that you're there to because there's so many dragons in it as well. Like that's a bit of a thing where you're trying to stay in your immersion, not break your suspension of disbelief, you know? Be suspended a bit. It's fine. Because at the core of it, it's these characters' relationships, and I think they're so incredibly well done. I could see the only big critique that people have is like, oh yeah, the show CGI looks shit. It's like, okay, do you have anything else to critique? I feel like other than that, it's like, I don't know if there's anything better currently like airing. You know? It's really, really
The
good.
Acolyte.
Yeah. Just as woke. 2 lead female characters. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Yeah, I really like the relationship between Allison and Cole. How he's just basically, you know, a boy toy.
Yeah.
And
boy toy is like perfect.
And I like where it goes in episode 3 and 4, and I can't wait to watch the rest of the season. It's going to be another 10 episode show. To me, so far, I give it like an 8.5 out of 10 for the series. And yeah, definitely urge you to go check it out if you haven't already. Lachlan, anything else you want to say?
No, it's great. I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, so go give it a try, and we'll catch you back either on the podcast if you're interested, or I guess in a couple weeks' time once the show has wrapped and we're going to do a series review. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.